From Asgard with Love. Chapter 18. Ivy came in like a hurricane just as I was putting away what was left of our dinner, calling out a greeting as she invited herself in through the back door and promptly kicked off her shoes in the hall. "I hope you have leftovers, because my stomach is trying to eat itself. Oh! Whoops. Hi, strangers. Uncle Dan, I presume," she said, shooting him some finger guns before turning a narrow-eyed gaze on Uller. "And you?" A half-smile curved Uller's lips, and he inclined his head just so. "And me." Ivy said. "Uncle Dan, this is Ivy," I said. "The infamous Ivy," he said, completely unfazed by the fact that she was somehow rummaging both through the cabinets for dishes and the fridge before I'd even finished her introduction. "It's nice to finally meet you." She waved a hand over her shoulder in acknowledgement. "So what am I looking for in here?" "Spaghetti and clams," I said, sitting back down next to Uller. Not like Ivy needed my help. It might even still be warm. And asparagus, too. "You are disgustingly predictable," she said, grabbing both and kicking the fridge door shut again. "I swear you eat this stuff the way most people eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches." I shrugged. "It's fast and easy." "Uh-huh," she said, depositing a healthy portion into the bowl she'd found. "Also, it's super weird that you had our apartment kitchen organized in the exact same way as this one, just for the record." "We Connollys are creatures of habit, I'm afraid," my uncle said, watching Ivy settle herself with food, silverware, and a glass of water across from Uller. "Though I can't really explain the clam sauce. Must have been her mother's doing." "I'm pretty sure the only thing Sam knows how to cook is pasta," Ivy said, spinning the spaghetti onto her fork and being completely unsubtle in her obvious study of Uller. "What about you, Hockey Thighs?" "Ivy!" She turned her head in my direction, but didn't take her eyes off Uller. "What? It's true." "Skiing, truly," Uller said politely. "Not hockey, though I'm not unfamiliar with the game. I prefer winter sports on the whole, but for archery." "Gotta have a hobby for the off-season, I guess," Ivy said. "Probably less call for house painters in winter, right?" My uncle laughed. I guess I didn't need to worry about not giving him the third degree myself, after all. I sighed and offered Uller an apologetic wince. "I won't blame you if you decide to cut out early for the night." "But I will," Ivy said. "Hangry much?" I glared at her. "Eat." Uller grinned at my irritation, catching my hand and squeezing it lightly. "You needn't worry, Sam. I like your Ivy very much." She stabbed her fork in his direction. "The more important issue is whether or not I like you." Uller shrugged, all confidence. "In that regard, it is only a question of time." "Why don't you just let me be the judge of that, Ivy said. "Because I gotta tell you, Walter." And oh my God, she air-quoted his name. "Your timing is a little bit suspect." "Is it?" Uncle Dan asked mildly. "It really isn't," I said. "It totally is," Ivy insisted. "Especially combined with this whole dropping off the face of the earth business. I don't hear from you for weeks, and then when I do, it's this absolute crisis. And suddenly your house painter is some weird not-boyfriend BFF I've never heard of? Nope, not buying it." "We're not doing this tonight, Ivy. In fact, if I had anything to say about it, we weren't going to be doing it at all. Because tomorrow is the wake, and the day after that, I hadn't decided what came after that. This is all hard enough already." Uller squeezed my hand again beneath the table. Humph! How Ivy could make twirling spaghetti into an act of judgment I had no idea, but somehow she managed it. "Tomorrow is going to be long and miserable," Uncle Dan said, pushing away from the table. "Maybe Sam is right, and we ought to give Walter here the benefit of the doubt, until we're through the other side." He was only saying it because of my grandmother, I was pretty sure. If she hadn't pre-approved him, well, I would take all the help I could get regardless, and I smiled gratefully when he dropped a hand to my shoulder on his way around the table. "I'll let you girls catch up, and I look forward to joining you for the Inquisition after the funeral, Ivy." She made a face, but the way my uncle had said it, she didn't argue either.